episode 2 of What the Fuck Did I Just Watch, where we're going to discuss The Phoenix with Ray and John Paul, a topless John Paul, may I say, because we did hit #1 once this month. So thank you guys for downloading and watching our craziness. And meanwhile, speaking of The Phoenix, why don't we roll that trailer so we don't have to stare too much at John Paul's loveliness.
Long ago, in a remote corner of the world, ancient astronauts landed from a distant planet with a gift for mankind, the Phoenix. For 1,000 years, he has waited, suspended in time. Now, he's awakened to complete his mission. He searches for his partner, Mira, for only she knows his ultimate assignment on Earth. Dependent on the sun for his strength and survival, endowed with a superior intelligence, he has fully developed the powers of the human mind. Relentlessly pursued by those who seek to control him, he must stay free.
Just as cheesy as it looks, folks. Just that cheesy, yes. But also the most appropriate show to put John Paul topless with, because Judson Scott, the main character, he basically flashes his titties at least 3 to 4 times every episode. So
absolutely. Now,
I am the light.
What was that?
I'm the golden light.
You are the golden light.
Yes. Now, can I say something really quick? I get why this got canceled right off the rip. It has nothing to do with production value or quality, because it's just as it's like the Incredible Hulk level, and that went on forever, right? What this is an example of people not understanding the source material. Because seriously, the Chariots of the Gods was written by Eric von Däniken in 1968, which was the first mention of the ancient astronaut theory. So by 1982, we're looking at very few people who aren't readers knowing about the ancient astronaut theory. So there was no internet at that time where people were just going down the rabbit hole, right? So it's literally an example of people are going, I don't understand the context of this. You know what I mean? Because it was ahead of its time. It was just too ahead of its time.
I mean, it was, but also, though, we have a lot of predecessors that kind of this had elements of, if you think about it. I mean, we had Buck Rogers, which you have a man out of time right there, which is kind of speaks to this. You have, the Incredible Hulk, as you mentioned, where you have the loner that's going and putting, wrongs to right while traveling alone, while being pursued by somebody else for their otherness.
Right.
So
I'm not saying that the
formulaically,
tropes aren't there.
It could have made it. It just was a little weirder than those other things.
Yeah, you're right. It was too much, because they started to delve into like Yago, and little bits like where he even wakes up in Peru. Nobody knew that was supposed to be the ancient aliens hub. You know what I mean? So I think that there's a little disconnect there with the audience right off the rip, because people are just like, oh, okay, he's magic, he's an alien, I don't understand,
If there's Egyptian iconography, there's Mayan, but he's in the Incan city, we don't know what's happening. Yeah, it's a lot of confusion there.
Right.
And Native American.
Yep.
Yeah.
They throw that in there. Yeah. So once you get out of the pilot into the series, it goes, straight into like the United States area Native American iconography and their mounds and like their burial grounds and their beliefs. So,
and if I can also say that Richard Lynch, which is the guy that's after him in this,
yes,
he was in one of my other favorite got canceled right away shows, Werewolf.
Mm-hmm.
He's the original werewolf, And I'm like, because I kept going, I know this dude. Is that Rutger Hauer? No, that's not Rutger Hauer.
Yeah, Richard Lynch actually he shows up in a lot of TV series throughout the 80s, and I think even a little into the 90s, as does Judson Scott. I mean, Judson Scott, you might also recognize if you watched V, the TV series. He showed up as a recurring character in it. And also throughout, like he shows up in Star Trek: The Next Generation. I think he has a part in Blade, the Blade movie. He's
Uh-huh.
all over the place.
Yeah, he's pretty prolific. He had that face. I'm like, I know that guy, right? But I had to look it up on IMDb to see where I connect the dots. Also, little known trivia: episodes 7, 8, and 9 never aired.
Nope.
Yeah,
Though I think they were filmed, which I think it's a shame somebody doesn't resurrect them.
yeah, I'd like to see it, honestly.
But even when they replay it, like on the Sci-Fi Channel and stuff, it's still just the 5 episodes, and that does in fact include the pilot.
Right.
And it had like probably one of the shortest runs. The pilot aired in what was it, March of '81, and then the series went from March of '82 to April of '82. Just that
So,
was it.
Jenny, why don't you give us an overview of what the actual story is for it?
Well, that's the funny thing. So the story basically is there's an ancient alien civilization that landed on the Earth and basically helped all ancient peoples to build, temples and artifacts, and basically, I don't know, maybe gave them fire. It really doesn't say. It just said it helped guide them, and that he was left there along with a counterpart, the character of Mira, which you barely see. Yeah,
Yes.
that on some mission that is never disclosed.
Right. Yeah,
And
they
so,
never tell you what he's actually trying to do.
and it's the character doesn't actually know apparently what he's supposed to be doing either. So you have the pilot, which is basically him like just being sad by the state of the earth. He makes commentary about there's not enough green life, air conditioning's awful, and the pilot, he actually wants to will himself to die. And then the photographer that takes him in, and the little boy that he helps in that first episode be able to come to terms with the fact that his father died in Vietnam, they convince him that he should live, that he needs to help people. And then the pilot ends basically with him going to go and search for his purpose and to help people in some generalized way. And then the series takes over where he's trying to find his partner, so he knows what his mission's supposed to be. But 3 episodes later, that's it. So we never know.
And I was really disappointed because the bad guy in this is Yago, which is basically just Lucifer.
Yeah, shape-shifting Lucifer,
Yeah,
basically.
and it's kind of really interesting because they're alluding to the fact that ancient aliens created the god mythology with the fallen angels and stuff, and Lucifer was the leader, and this is the guy that's supposed to fight him. Basically, is our main character, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was super cool, and then they just kind of drop it.
Yep.
And I was like, that's your show right there, man. How awesome would that be?
This is yet another series, though, where they basically have a different writer almost per episode. So,
Yeah.
Which, to be fair, it's a lot more coherent than a lot of ones like that, but it also isn't coherent enough. So you just have just basically mini stories where he's going out and helping individuals.
Yeah, very Incredible Hulk. That's what I kept saying.
I was going to say, that's the formula of a lot of 80s TV show. Like I said, the Incredible Hulk. I'm trying to think. There's a
The A-Team.
Mm-hmm.
What is?
But the A-Team kind of held on to its overarch. You know what I mean? Like you still, while they're having these little mini episodes, they still were going with trying to clear their name. It just
right.
Which I think the Phoenix kind of tried to do that because they kept referring to the fact that he was still searching for Mira, but there wasn't enough. It was just this empty search for Mira that.
Yeah. And it was very creepy how quickly these people just were like, here, hang out with my kid. Strange man.
Well, they just knew he was safe.
Yeah, I guess.
You also forgot to mention, he can read minds.
Yeah.
And that's a little creepy in its own. Especially in the pilot with that whole weird relationship with the photographer lady.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I like how they put it in the trailer. He's superiorly endowed with mental powers.
Yeah.
But you notice every episode there's some woman who's looking at him like, oh, yes, he's endowed.
He's got a great big swinging mental ability.
Yep.
But so real quick, if you don't mind, guys, I'd like, Jenny, we know obviously this was your pick and you love this show. So if you don't mind, let's go around the table real quick though, and have John Paul. What did you think of it, being a first time viewer?
I mean, I really enjoyed the pilot. I enjoyed it because of the different kind of mythologies that it was going to tell, or at least that's what I thought. But I just, that really clung to me. And then it became a save a family of the week type deal, and that was kind of like, But the thing I did find interesting when they did kind of do that was what a lot of actors and actresses who later they became or were already, kind of small time, like the head of the FBI is the dean from Animal House. I don't know if you remember that. And then in one of the episodes towards the end, Tracy Gold shows up, and she's one of the daughters from Growing Pains.
Okay.
So I thought that was kind of neat. And then there was a character. It's funny in the pilot, he played one of the kind of henchmen of the casinos, and that actor, I got IMDb up, so I'm gonna Carmen Alessandro. That guy's been in so much stuff from this Miami Vice, a couple of things. He's a regular character actor, but in the pilot he played, like I said, a henchman, and then later on, towards I think the second to last episode, he plays that weird guy who's divorced with the daughter. I don't know if you remember that episode. I guess she's Tracy Gold's like brother-in-law or whatever. So I thought that was kind of interesting. But I mean, all in all, I kind of wish they would have, like Jenny said, I wish it would have stayed like a linear story, even if it was throughout. I mean, I guess the concept was the fact that he is looking for Mira and looking for an answer to why he's in this time, because he kept saying he's out of time. So, but it wasn't terrible.
So you liked it?
I did. I mean, there was one episode I did not like. That was the second episode after the pilot. It just seemed very, very boring. And then there was parts of a couple other episodes where I was just like, really? Now you're just somebody who talks to pregnant cats and cleans around people. And I'm like, what? But I do enjoy this actor because he was such a great villain in V, the TV series, and then to see him in this being a hero, I thought, okay, that's cool. This guy shows different kinds of range. So, and then like you said, Richard Lynch, that guy's been in a lot of things, and he does look like Rutger Hauer.
Yeah, man.
It is pretty funny.
Yeah. Well, I got to tell you, Jenny, I was really, really, really dreading watching this. I mean, I honestly kept going, oh my God, I just couldn't get motivated. Then I got stuck working Memorial Day, and so I had nothing to do. I had to do something to kill time. So I put this on, and I ended up loving it. Like, I thought it was fantastic. I could not believe how much stuff they lifted from Chariots of the Gods. If you've never read it, I highly recommend reading it. And how, like I said, ahead of its time I felt it was. Like, it's all these amazing ideas pushed into 5 episodes. And sure, there's some filler. There's some silly stuff because it's a TV series on ABC. But there's some weighty things here that they're trying to convey. Imagine if you pitched in a television show in the 80s and your TV show was, well, what is it? Well, basically God comes back to Earth and is disappointed with everything we've done. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's a pretty heavy thing. And then to add in Mira and, Yago, that whole mythology, I was like, this is really cool. I kind of hope somebody grabs this someday and remakes it, and talk about reboots. Something like this would be fantastic on like the Sci-Fi Channel or Shudder or something, where they could actually give it the proper money and do a linear story. I would totally. Yeah, so I was really digging it. I was super pissed when there was no more, when it just ended. I was like, okay. So, but yeah, I really liked it. I will have to trust your judgment from here on out more.
Always trust me. Yeah. So when I first saw this, I was 6, 7 years old at the time, and this was actually the height of like the '80s, where don't litter, and the environment was first taking the big stage about all the things that were going wrong with pollution and things like that. You had the advertisement with the First Nations person crying on the side of the road when somebody throws litter out of the car. So it had a huge impact on me as a child. Plus, it was all the stuff I loved. It was archaeology. It was the mounds. It was just fascinating to me.
Yeah.
We had a female professor of archaeology. I thought that was amazing. It was very inspiring to watch as a child, even though it was hokey as hell and not very diverse in its cast. But
Right.
still, 6, 7 years old, I'm not quite aware of that. I'm just seeing, different imagery that I don't get to see all the time. It's making me think of things that I don't have access to that easily. Because as you pointed out, there's no internet at this point.
Right.
All your source materials or whatever you can read or what you see on TV, there's nothing else. So, and this was the first time I ever watched a series that just abruptly ended. It was just gone. There was nothing. You just, you were glued to your TV every Friday night, and all of a sudden, no more. But also, one of the reasons why it failed, when I looked it up, was because it apparently got its rival show was The Dukes of Hazzard. That was the time
Oh
slot it was in,
no!
Oh my
and it
God.
clearly could not beat that.
Yeah, you can't go up with this with against the Duke boys, son. That's a recipe for disaster. Absolutely.
It's funny you say that, but I'm wondering, and if I pull up his IMDb, because he looks so familiar, I would not be surprised
If
he
he
was.
showed up in an episode of that too. I don't think he did, though.
I mean, he strikes me as someone who would be a villain in
Yeah.
the Dukes of Hazzard. So let me see. Oh, he was in one of my favorite TV shows that ended up getting canceled, The Adventure of Briscoe County Jr.
Oh, I love that show. Hey, we need to get you a cameraman there, Jean Paul, because right now it's 1/4 of your face. There you go.
Sorry.
Are you shyer than I am, John Paul? Because if so, you
Yeah.
could do like bad lighting like I do, so I just look like a shadow
All
person.
right, he was
Oh.
actually on the Dukes of Hazzard.
Was he?
Shut your mouth.
IMDb. He played a character named Benson.
Banu de Benson. There you go. I mean,
Yeah,
Yeah.
he looks like a Benson.
I mean, and it looks like he was there a year. It says from 83 to 84.
Wow.
So after this show, he jumped ship.
Yeah. It's probably their cousin Benson that came from another planet.
I mean, maybe.
he drove a Firebird.
Yeah.
He was also in the A-Team.
Yep. That I knew he did show up in the A-Team. I think Richard Lynch might have too showed up in the A-Team, but I might be wrong on that.
I mean, he's got a hell of a credit. So he shows up on the X-Files too.
Yeah, he does.
So yeah, I mean,
well, yeah, I like I said, I remembered seeing this guy, and I'm like, I know I've seen him in shit or stuff. Sorry, I know we're trying to keep this PG.
Are we?
I guess I don't know.
I have no recall. I mean, the name of the podcast is "What the Fuck Did I Just Watch?" So I don't.
Oh,
really
you're right. Shit, fuck, cock, ass. There
you go. We're good now. I mean, we had titties on here earlier. So.
That's right. My titties were showing. Thank you all for making us number one.
Yes. Well, I highly recommend this to anybody. You can watch it on YouTube for free, which is crazy.
Yeah,
I mean, quite.
You get the full 80s TV experience because it's awful, but
there was some commercials on yours, on mine. Was there commercials on your guys's?
Some of them. So I watched it a couple different ways on YouTube. I had John Paul's link when I was just watching it on my computer, but when I was popping it up on the TV, I just searched it out a different way. And I found the ones that apparently somebody had recorded off of the Sci-Fi Channel back in the day when it was actually properly abbreviated before they went to SYFY.
Yeah, I was going to say that's what I watched. And so I got, because they were doing like shows that got canceled, marathon, and somebody recorded it. So I got like commercials for like early 90s computers. Awesome. Yeah. It was like stuff. Macintosh says, and I was like, oh shit, I haven't even thought of that in a while. Like people used to call them Macintosh.
Well, speaking of which, so I geeked out for a moment and I was wrong because like the beginning of the last episode of Phoenix, they have this scene where he comes in from the bus station and there's Century Games, the Phoenix, and there's a kid playing it. And the guy's like, hey, what happens when you beat the score? And I'm like, is this an Easter egg for The Last Starfighter? No, it wasn't. It was just product placement because there actually was a game by Century that was called the Phoenix that you could buy and or play in an arcade, which after I looked it up, I remembered it, and it was kind of a weird mix between Space Invaders and Centipede, and it wasn't really that much fun to play.
Well, it made me laugh really hard because I was like, "This is awesome!" Like he beats it, and he's like, "Hey, that's 5 extra lives. Those are your guys's." I'm like, "Cool, dude." You know.
But I was also like, I have never played a game where if you beat the score, you got free games out of it, really. I mean, you can get extra lives as you're playing a game, but not really free games.
Yeah, that was all nonsense somebody made up.
Yeah, I was like, that's just a lie.
But again, he crowded a whole bunch of little children around him.
Yeah, he did. He walked up and he goes, "Hey, what you playing, fellas?"
I'm gonna be honest. I thought it was a little creepy, especially like the scene like where he saves a little girl from the rattlesnake, and he's like, "That's a special little girl." I'm like,
oh God, my God, yeah, right.
That's Tracy Gold. That's from Growing Pains Girl.
Yep. Well, and the dad was like, "Yes, she is. Do you have kids?" He's like, "Well, yeah, but I haven't seen them in a long time, like 1,000 years."
It made it sound like he had killed him out there. You know,
Hey,
I haven't seen him in a while. I came out to visit their graves.
Though he does help the one kid. Not only does he, save his life a couple times and gets shot, and he helped the dad win that jackpot.
Yeah.
And the dad was the father from Ferris Bueller.
Yeah. Can we talk about the coolest scene in any of the episodes, though? That's when the cops are chasing him, and they're bearing down on him, and they got a roadblock, see? And he rides in on his motorcycle, and he's like, roadblock. Where I'm going, I don't need no roads. He comes back around, and he mind jumps. Yeah. He mind jumps over the roadblock. I was like, yeah, that's what you do when you have mind powers.
When you have
Of course, I was watching, like, you're on a dirt bike. You could have gone around those cop cars like 80 different times while you were just spinning in circles. I mean,
no.
Not as exciting as jumping the cars, but.
Mind jumps.
Hey, I like when he decides to play Evel Knievel and just blows up the car and the pilot with the photographer. Just like, I'm going to blow it up.
That was pretty awesome.
How funny the special effects sounds are, too.
Yeah.
I mean,
Actually, that episode had another good moment too. That's when you have the Cytronics doctor. Is that what you called it?
Yeah.
Oh,
and when Richard Lynch's character comes across her and he starts like walking by and going, looking for doctor. I forgot what the name was, and she's like, "That's me." And he stops and stares at her. She's like, "Wrong color, wrong gender, wrong size. What was it that's your problem?" Basically, and I was like, "Get him, girl."
Yeah. Yeah, there were some good moments where they were like pushing the envelope for that time period in this. I thought it was pretty cool. What was the other? There was another crazy thing. Oh yeah, I was like, what other superpowered being needs the sun, right? Huh? Do we know what that one is? Huh?
Superman.
I was like, there was a couple different ones actually, so I'm like, there's about 4.
No, there's only one.
I'm sorry, only one.
Superman.
Just Superman.
The Man of Steel.
Okay.
But anyways, how awesome was that medallion, and where can I get one? That's what I need.
I'm sure you could do an internet search and find one.
I'm going to buy one and wear it over my bare chest. It's going to be amazing.
We have to take time where you take your shirt and you kind of pull it open because he keeps doing that.
Yeah.
There we go, Jean Paul. Do it. Yep.
Like this.
He's like,
while wearing a denim shirt.
Now, guys, just to make sure I didn't miss anything, because I'm watching them on YouTube. They weren't edited very clearly. We never get to meet Mira, do we?
They show images of her.
Right, but we never get to talk to her.
Because every time he gets there, she's somewhere else.
Right. Okay.
And she is an African American.
Okay.
No, she's white.
I thought she was a white lady in the thing I saw.
No.
I mean, I'm not saying she can't be from Africa and also white, but she's pretty white looking to me.
If you actually do the research, they had cast. That's why we do think that there are episodes that they.
First off, don't you ever tell me that if I actually do the research. I research all the time. I got notes right here. So,
Oh,
a
this is
research.
my note.
But I didn't just read some internet bullshit. I actually cross-checked these. But go on.
Did you? Okay, yeah. They did cast an African American to play Mira.
But it
Okay.
was a white
And
girl in the
If it's a
trailer.
white girl that shows up in there, but
yeah, I know. Sorry.
So what was that? What was it going to do, John Paul? What was the big reveal? That wasn't her.
Yeah,
And
that was the point.
okay,
oh, okay. So you were supposed to see in later series that she was the image he kept seeing was not in fact Mira, it was a trick, and then the actual
Right.
Mira. Oh, okay. That makes a lot more
was
sense then. But
was
I'm
that
like, yeah,
part
I
of
don't know.
That was not a part of the episodes that were aired.
was that a part of Yago or Bad Wolf Lucifer's plan?
Ooh, maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe. Maybe. Just maybe.
to trick him. It'd be like, you found her, yay, go away, and then he has the real one.
Yeah.
Which is funny though, because Yago keeps telling Bennu that he's on the wrong path.
Yeah, and it is funny too because that makes sense actually. Because don't they mention like she's Egyptian or something at some
Yeah.
point?
Yes, but I mean, this is the early '80s, where
Where Elizabeth Taylor can play
yes.
Egyptian.
I mean, they did have an
So
actual
Yeah,
Native American actor play the Native American in the show.
they did.
right.
The curator at the museum, I believe.
Yeah.
So Jenny, if that's this time period was so profound for you, how disappointed were you when you found out that the Indian with the tear was just some Mexican actor they paid to be an Indian?
Heartbroken.
Yeah, I bet, right? Just saying.
Well, just in general. I mean, like, when you're a kid and then later on you find out that they cast a whole bunch of white people and red paint.
Oh
It's
my God! Yeah, it's
terrible. You're like, what? Then you remember why Marlon Brando had a, indigenous person show up to give his not acceptance speech at the
I am it.
Oscars.
yeah. I was
I
actually watching
Is
an
that
old
Emmett's
West.
butt or face there, John Paul?
Yeah,
That was his face.
I was
Okay.
actually watching an old
Oh,
Western recently on one of my over-the-air broadcast TV, and it was John Wayne painted like a Native American, and
wow.
I was sitting there like, I don't know, did anybody buy this at that time? Like, hey, John Wayne's playing a Native American, and he's clearly just talking exactly the same.
It's still just John Wayne.
Yeah,
Still John Wayne.
They had him play Genghis Khan too, so there you go.
right. But it's really weird in these old TV shows how the casting it doesn't match what the story is sometimes. So, but I
So
liked it. Yeah.
I was gonna say let's play a game. Who would you cast now to play his character?
Oh, now,
Yeah.
um, I tell you who I've got as somebody in mind. Um, the kid from what's the Cal Penn.
Okay.
I like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good
Yeah, because
choice.
I was thinking somebody not white would be a better person.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Cal Penn's got that ability to be funny and serious too. Like I watched House recently again over, and
Mhm.
he's fantastic in it.
Yeah.
Um, but he's really funny in parts too. So I think he has that. He could play that man out of time role. I think perfectly.
Yeah.
Um, Mira, I would cast. I would try to cast somebody with that ethnicity, like an Egyptian ethnicity, and actually somebody like where they maybe pull an unknown, like they did with Wonder Woman. Gal Gadot wasn't a famous actress; she was just somebody that they interviewed. So I'd maybe try to do an unknown for her, and then for the FBI, I was thinking the dude that plays Agent Coulson in Marvel.
That's really good casting because
Yeah,
then he's not just a nice guy. He could play a dick.
right. And then for Yago, because I would like Yago to actually take an embodiment, maybe have like somebody, some older actor who's really like this is gonna sound terrible probably, but like Lou Diamond Phillips, for example, right? he was out of it for a while, but now he's doing stuff again, small TV roles, and I think he could play menacing pretty well. And I think that this needs like an actual Native American guy, for that. So.
I was kind of thinking that for Bennu. There's what is his name? Gerald Tocola Clifford. I think I'm probably terribly mispronouncing his name. He's been in not too many movies, but he does excellent in all of them. And I think it'd be great to see something like that as opposed to just another
Right.
random actor, or at least another random actor that just happens not to be white.
Well, yeah, that's perfect too. I was just thinking like somebody that could do like somebody interesting that would do something with it. So sure, there's the Adam Beach as well. He's a Native American actor. And he's really great. He was in Joe Dirt as the guy that's like. He was also in a bunch of war movies I've seen. I don't know how else. Are you familiar with him? Adam
Vaguely,
Beach.
yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, he's really great. I
But you
don't
remember,
know.
I'm really bad usually with actors and actresses' names and catching
Oh, okay.
movies and stuff like that. It's so bad.
But I think this could be great. Like if it was given a nice little budget, it doesn't have to be spectacular, but like less than Fringe money. You know,
Sorry, my
get
dog
him.
decided she needed to get her voice heard.
Yeah, get him, Cujo. But yeah, I think that this would be perfect. So there he is. There's
There
Adam
we go.
Beach.
Yep.
No, yeah, that would be good.
Yeah, he's a good actor, man. He can play funny and serious. He was actually on Law and Order for a while. So yeah, he's pretty fantastic.
I'll tell you who I think would be a really good Mira. Naomi Scott. You know who she is?
Not familiar.
She was Jasmine in the new live action Aladdin movie.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
She was also in the new Charlie's Angels. Again, two movies that weren't that great, but just seeing her in those movies, I could see her being a really good actress.
Well, you know that I told you after I watched that Aladdin movie, the best part of that new Aladdin movie was that chick. So
Yeah.
she was great. She brought actual newness to it. Everything else was shit.
Yeah,
So
to be honest, I couldn't make it much past the very first scene.
it
I think I
was,
made it to the marketplace where they introduce her into it, and I'm like, I can't anymore.
yeah.
Well,
But
and I think the actor who played Aladdin would be a good Bendu as well. I mean, he's a
okay.
gypsy. I think he would do. He does a really good job. Again, that movie I don't feel shows his range, but I've seen him in like interviews, and then he was something like a small movie, and I don't know. I could see him playing this kind of small role, and then making it his own, and that would be
Well,
kind of
that would be cool. Or we could get Alec Baldwin,
yeah.
Kim Basinger.
What year? 96. 4 years old. It's not.
Yeah. We could CGI their
Corpse of
faces.
John Wayne, whatever.
Yeah. There's a
Although, of
role in
course,
there
if they
from.
do reboot the series, they do have to have Justin Scott in some form of cameo on there.
Oh,
True.
of course.
And if they do reboot it, I have to be one of the writers. So
There you go.
yeah,
Well,
Make
start
it happen.
writing, make your proposal. You got
Make
this.
it
yeah,
happen.
right.
Be like,
Well, I again, I really thank you, Jenny, for bringing this to my attention. I enjoyed the heck out of it. Is there anything else you'd like to say on it, or like?
It's just that, if you haven't watched it, it is worth a watch. Just there's a lot of concepts and ideas that don't sound too out of place now, but were way back in the early 80s. And I honestly do wonder, though, if there wasn't like some inspiration that led to The Last Starfighter with that little video game scene. So, watch
Yeah, I
it. Tell
think
me
you're
what you
right.
think.
I
I was
think
gonna
that yeah,
sorry, I was going to say it also reminded me of Starman, but Starman came out after this.
Hmm.
right. Well, let's do this real quick before we go. Let's play a little fun game I had an idea for. If you guys, I'll put you on the spot. Sound good?
Oh,
Oh, that's my favorite shit. I
All
do
right.
so well on the spot.
You do, Jenny. You're Jenny on the spot. That's what we always call you.
Right.
yeah. But
So each person, top three, can't miss shows of the 80s. John Paul, you start.
I mean, I'm gonna have to say V because I love it. The A-Team, and just because recently I started rewatching this, Greatest American Hero.
Nice. Jenny?
The Incredible Hulk, V, and this was my favorite from the 80s. Though the A-Team was a close second.
Nice. For me, it was the A-Team, my friends. My God, I love the A-Team. Second to that, and almost equal, Knight Rider. I have a quick story about Knight Rider. When I was a little kid, for my 10th birthday, my dad said, I'm going to take you to a store. We were poor for a long time. So if you're watching this or listening and you've never been poor, this story isn't going to resonate. But I was super fucking poor, all right? Then my dad got a really good job, and we were making money, and he took me to a store, and he says, for your birthday, I'm going to buy you any of these vehicles you want. And they were battery powered. If you guys remember, that just came out. It was new technology. Not everybody had it. It was the bee's knees, as the kids say, right? Envy. I would have been the envy of the fucking neighborhood with one of these Jeeps that were battery powered. My dad says I can have any one of them I want. So I'm going through, and I get to the end where the battery powered stuff stops, and what's sitting there? Kit from fucking Knight Rider. Not battery powered, mind you, pedal powered. $250 less than the Jeeps. And I go, Dad, found it. Here's what I want. Kit, Knight Rider. He goes, you don't want that. It's got no batteries. The whole point of this is the battery thing. He's like, you're going to be pedaling it. Then you just get a bike at that point. And I went, you don't understand. You said I could have anything in the store that I want. I want Kit from Knight Rider. And he's like, no, I just can't do that in good conscience. This is the thing. This is the new thing. People want this. You're asking for something that's no longer popular. And I started crying. And it's the only time in my entire life my dad said that I started crying in the middle of a store. And I kept saying, I want Knight Rider. Finally, he's like, what am I arguing about? I'm saving $250. So he buys me a Knight Rider car, and I rode this thing, guys, until the friggin' wheels literally fell off. I would ride it down the street, and people would have those cars, those little, drive by me, and I'd be like, fuck you.
Power Wheels?
I got Kit. So anyway, so that's how much I love Knight Rider. So and then my third one is Alf.
Oh.
See, I also really love Wonder Woman, but there was always a fight for the TV with my brother, and he was the favorite child. So,
What did he watch?
Well, he would agree to watch the things like Incredible Hulk and V and stuff like that. So that was where our common ground was. 18. So which wasn't too bad. But then I had to wait later to be able to watch Wonder Woman.
I was like, he didn't want to watch Wonder Woman? I mean, she's in a leotard, half naked.
My brother was ornery, so often if it was something that I specifically wanted to watch, he would have to have a fight with. So I actually would have to pretend like I didn't really like Incredible Hulk or V or A-Team or the Phoenix, and then I got to watch them.
If Cassie Wotan's watching this, that's my sister. She knows how many times I had to compromise and watch Clueless for her. Or Dirty Dancing. I'm a big fan of Patrick Swayze because I've watched Dirty Dancing 57 times.
But Roadhouse.
That's what I got to watch later in life. Roadhouse. I'm like, hey, it's the guy from Dirty Dancing. He's pretty cool. He just knocks broads up left and right. So.
But Dawn, you get Patrick Swayze and what's her name?
Jennifer Grey. She was one of my crushes.
She's married to Coulson.
Yeah, I know.
Yes, she is.
That lucky SOS.
But now you're also forgetting Still Dawn, though. Another excellent Patrick Swayze.
That is a great movie.
Next to Kin.
Oh, yeah, with Liam Neeson.
Yeah. Good movies.
I have terrible taste in movies, folks.
These are all fantastic movies. But anyways, this has been really fun, guys. I enjoy this podcast, and I hope the people that that watch this enjoy it as well.
So, Ray, you topless next time if we make number one?
Yeah, right. You can't get me to do that stupid shit. Even if I was cut with a six-pack, I wouldn't take this off. No
Get
way.
in my belly.
I
No,
have
son.
I have chest hair that comes in like a phoenix across my
Well, you
chest,
know what? And you
and
wasted it. That should
yeah,
totally.
and I've
You
only
should
ever
have
showed it
showed us your picnics.
I've only showed it one time, and I was super drunk at a party, and I'll never do it again.
So we're not doing a super drunk podcast episode. I don't understand.
We can do that someday. Shots for every time Jean Paul says
Uh,
Or every time I look like Bambi caught in the headlights when you ask me a question, like what?
Yeah.
Next question.
You're getting better.
just make our own drinking game. Well, folks, watch our podcast and enjoy our drinking game.
Yeah. Real quick, anything coming up, guys, that you want to promote? Jenny, I know that you do the belly dancing. Is that coming up again soon? Or?
We're still basically on hold. There's currently we don't have anything that's online besides classes. So if you
Right.
ever want to take any belly dance or yoga classes, go look up angienever.com. She has tons of dance classes and yoga classes, and she's an amazing teacher. But no, we're still not opening the studio, and most of the shows and fairs and festivals are still canceled, and we haven't heard about anything going on into August or September yet. So,
Which is really weird because I just had a haircut today and my beard trimmed by a lady who had a mask on, but she was right up in my face. So, I mean, it didn't really do much. Like, I was like, I had to get a haircut, but I mean, if they can do that, you think you guys would be able to do your dancing? You know?
What's a haircut?
Yeah.
I got 70s.
well,
I'm
I mean,
training.
there's no declining cases. In fact, they're still rising in Ohio. So,
Right.
we're okay with waiting until it's safer.
All right.
There's enough actual reasons to go out. I mean, there's terrible shit going on in the world that people are standing against. So,
I.
if you're going to risk yourself, risk it for that.
It looks like the way you're sitting that you have horns coming out of
I
your head,
do.
right?
They're not wings.
Bow
though.
down.
Go!
Yeah. All right. Well, I appreciate that, Jenny. Let us know.
Will do.
All right.
But what about
Jean
you, though?
Paul?
You got something going on, right?
Yeah, we got something going on, Randy.
Yeah, we got something going on. What's up?
We've got our June edition of Schlockfest.
Right.
I'm still not going to tell you what you're going to watch yet because it's
Not a
fun
surprise.
to drive you nuts. Surprises are fun for Randy.
Yeah,
Hey.
I love them.
Last month's surprise made you happy.
Actually, last month was awesome. So I'm looking forward to seeing what you're bringing this month. You got to bring your gay game.
Yes.
You really dropped the ball.
I might even surprise you with 2 this month.
Oh, I don't know about that. I'm pretty busy.
Oh.
But yeah. But as far as me, I'm actually going to go on a ghost hunt. I've been invited on one.
Nice.
Ooh.
So I'm going to do that at some point. That's in the near future. I'm doing Schlockfest with this lunchbox over here. Stay tuned for that. I'm actually writing a fan fiction Star Wars story that I will be releasing on a website here in the next month as well. It's called Tatooine, A Tale of Two Sons, spelled S-O-N-S. See what I did there?
Funny.
Ooh.
Yeah. And I also want to give a shout out real quick, if you guys don't mind, to my friends at Mississippi Bones. They're a musical group. They just put a new album out. It's Felucci something or other. Fuck, I forget the name.
Wow!
I was going to write it down. And I thought,
Fibonacci?
no, I can remember that.
Fellatio?
But it's trade your coffin for a gun is the whole thing. It's and the cool part about it, what is it? I'm sorry, the Witch of Felucci. It's the Witch of Felucci Holler, okay? And one of the tracks is Trade Your Coffin for a Gun. It is an imagined album, like it's a concept album. What would happen if these like zombies and H.P. Lovecraft type characters came into this old west mining town during the 1800s? and it's got very old West themed music
I was going to say,
mixed
Holler
with
sounds like Kentucky. Falsey sounds like
yeah,
Italian zombie movie. So,
right. That's exactly right. And so it's like this amazing mix of rock and roll and old West music, old Western music. It's fantastic. So again, The Witch of Felucci Holler can be bought on Bandcamp for as low as $5 American. So
Ooh.
that's right. Buy your copy now. Again, I've been Ray McGuff.
who else have you been?
Man, a lot of people. I once was Tommy Two Tones. I
White
think
chocolate.
I think I went by Jerry Jones for a little while, who's a children's therapist.
Not Jim Jones?
No, Jerry Jones, his
Just
younger
checking.
brother.
White chocolate.
White chocolate, that's right. Mayor McCheese. Rad Pitt. I forgot about that one. Rad Pitt. Oh boy. I went by Rando Baggins once.
Random. I like
Rando
that one a lot.
One girl used to call me Rand Daddy because I dated a bunch of single mothers in a row.
You hurt me.
Who else? Who else have I been? Chris Christopherson?
The actor? Or
No, the musician.
Oh,
I was going to say, well, the country singer could be either.
I've also portrayed Billie Eilish on several chat boards.
I see the similarities.
wow.
So there.
Well, I'm still just Jenny. Sorry, I had really boring parents, and I'm not very exciting person.
I'm very grateful to our fans that made us #1, and
Yes.
thank you all.
Thank you,
And-
Spin from Speedin, for making us #1.
And now you'll probably be like, don't ever show that man's chest hair ever.
No, don't.
No, don't.
Ugh.
John Paul Mantilla and Emmett
But
Dog.
what's up next, Jenny? What's next on the block?
So now it actually is Farscape is next.
That's right. We lied last time. That's right. Farscape is next. And I promised you guys I'll grab a few episodes to dole out, and I will. I just haven't had time. I'm very busy. I'm an important businessman, and I have
You
a
have
lot
all
of
those
business.
hatchlings to take care of, right?
That's right.
Nestlings.
I'm pushing some of those nesters out of the nest this week, and I have a whole new training class to start next week. So I'm going to feed my baby birds knowledge. And hopefully I won't get in any HR trouble. We'll see. We'll see what the night brings, as they say.
It's rather amazing that you don't really.
Well, I never lead with, do you want to see my wing? That's always a closer.
You don't wong it?
Wow.
You knew I was going to bring that up.
Out.
Yeah.
The Wong came out.
The Wong, that's the Wong one. Huh? All right, guys, I say much like a prom night date, let's wrap this up, huh?
Ah.
Well, it's been a pleasure. You've been watching What the Fuck Did I Just Watch? And join us next time for Farscape.